Here we are from the top-up show at glorious Warwick Farm. We've got two guests, Paul Daly, a regular, and Nigel of Hairdero fame, who everyone knows has joined us. G'day, Mark Lamble.
He'll be on the pink pages soon, Glenn.
What does that mean?
Well, the wages, two shows in a week.
Wow.
Mad if you don't.
What a gala we've got here today at Warwick Farm. Sorry, I'm just hearing myself through the headset there. Of course, an inch and a quarter of rain last night has spiced and spruced everything.
Changed everything. Changed everything from the preview show.
Everything, or because surely it just
a lot.
Okay, well we'll work through that. Paul Daly, how's the track going to play today?
Down the middle, down the outside, I think. No, don't want to be anywhere near the inside.
Off the pace, or?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it'll obviously be pace dependent, but so I'm not saying that leaders can't get away with it, but they'll need conditions to suit in terms of tempo.
What are you looking for, Nigel?
No, I think they'll be coming down the centre. I'm expecting the track to probably finish between a 5 and a 6. It's very sunny and warm here, so.
Yeah, and the rain came in a short space of time, so but Warwick Farm is perhaps one of the worst tracks to handle any type of moisture. Glenn Pollitt, race 1, not much happening here, although I noticed that Steel Diamond, the unraced Worthington horse, has had some support.
Yeah, solid this morning, wasn't it, Mark? Again, favourite for me, boys. Any thoughts?
Favourite probably wins, but I won't be betting.
Yeah, gut feel is it's come back an even better horse than what it went out, so expecting it to win.
Yeah, expecting it to win.
Is it short enough now at 4 to 6, $1.65?
I think that's the right line.
I think $1.85 might be what you'll be able to back it at on the fair.
Yeah. Okay.
What makes you think that, Nige? Gut feeling or any evidence? Why are you thinking that?
No, I just think $1.65.
It's 120% price, isn't it?
I think.
There's a bit of wiggle room there, isn't there? Okay. Wiggle room. Okay, race 2, and again a shorty, but Noble Boy perhaps a touch easier than Time to Rain. Acquittal, $13 into 9. Alternative Facts, a little bit of money for it as well. I guess Acquittal has drawn the lane that that punters may be looking for, GP.
Yeah, I think it has, Mark, and the rider there, I suppose it can. It's a rough chance to win the race and definitely place. I think the favourite holds the aces again there, Mark.
Any danger that he's a bit off the pace? Paul Daly, did you do this race or not? No, you're not a highway man.
Not really. I mean, the favourite looks dominant in terms of its figures, but I think it's skinny enough, and I wouldn't want to be taking that price. But I don't want to back it in further.
Anything from you, Nigel?
No, treading carefully.
Okay, race 3, really interesting 1,000-metre race here. Single Bullet, firm as anything now, I guess, with its lane into 310. Super 2, you know where she'll be, $4.60, and a tinkle for Latin Boy there at, into $15. Paul Daly, is this race any good to you?
Maybe. Now look, I don't like the gait of She Knows, but the concussion plates come off, and
I mentioned that on the show yesterday. She's coming with cleanish feet.
Yeah, with Hugh on them, and Hugh knows this track well enough, and I think there's going to be enough gaps in the fairly small field for it to get to the right part of the track, but I think it's mounting yard and a half for that race.
Yeah, for sure. Glenn?
Moral.
Single Bullet.
Unbeatable.
Nigel?
I'm quite heavily invested in this race. I've averaged about $6 for both She Knows and Super 2, so
all right, so you're sitting well now, although She Knows may trade longer, depending on what happens.
Yeah, I think it's the chaser. Single Bullet. Don't know where it gets to in the run. I think it needs sort of the right tag up to perform at its best. I'm not sure it'll get that.
Yeah, look, I think it's an interesting race, and Glenn's declaring, but I like it, but I'm just saying 310 seems a bit rock bottom now. We lost the headline horse of the meeting there, Brutal, in race 4, and Sandbar is now $2.10. I was the only fan of Sandbar yesterday, so surely it's too short from your point of view, Glenn. Yeah,
I've worn more to it with the scratchings, but I couldn't back it. Race off for me.
Race off. Paul?
Look, I've got a favourite, Sandbar, but nowhere near the market price, and one first up over preps, it's the logical pick, but I'd be interested to see what Glenn thinks about Gem Song.
Okay, yet another horse that may be compromised by his draw, or maybe we're looking to get a better price because of his draw. Nigel, have you got any interest in this, any stake in this race?
Yeah, Gem Song for me. Potential for it to be a real wetty with its being your song. So
yeah, okay. All right, so you were happy. You were happy with the turnaround, with the downgrade.
In terms of Gemsong, yes.
Yeah. One of the features, the 1100 metre Inglis Millennium, well, not Millennium, whatever it is, this 3-year-old race. Fiesta seems to be barked everywhere. Everyone seems wary of Estajarb, and Glenn, you and Gord, coterie is now $11.
Yeah, we sort of picked this SP winners down the show, don't you think? But yeah, look, there's bits and pieces in the race as well. I think Royal Celebration saw there a bit of bits and pieces, and there's some place roughies there. I thought Mizzy or Evelina could get into a hole of big odds there, so for trifecta players. But I think Fiesta's top pick, coterie definitely a chance. Then Royal Celebration, then a couple of bits and pieces.
All right, and Fiesta, what price should we be looking at rather than what it is?
If it paraded great, I think 350 is fine.
Yep.
And if it paraded poorly or only averagely, I'd want $5.
Right, because it is Glenn, and we saw Glenn last night on a horse where that, he was a bit indifferent about.
This is $1 million race.
Yeah, so we'll get good Glenn.
We're going to get good Glenn for sure.
Paul Daly, are you playing this race?
No, probably not. But
a lot of first uppers, obviously.
Yeah, and Estajar's obviously, the big query, and outside it, if it doesn't feature, then I think Fiesta's a chance, but it's short, and I'd probably put Royal Celebration in there ahead of it.
Okay. Nigel, are you interested here or not?
I think Royal Celebration as an each-way bet appeals to me. Its record suggests that it should be in the finish.
It's a really interesting runner in this race, and one that I have played. The mares, Champagne Cuddles remains tight. Not much happening in terms of the betting. GP, where do you stand here?
Yeah, I'm still interested in the stablemate, Egyptian Symbol, even more so now. And, Alasia.
Because it is, this race is a bit tempo dependent, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, look, I'm favourite on top, but I think the stablemate's a real danger.
Okay. Bit of love for Egyptian Symbol there. Nigel, where do you stand?
Heavily invested Cool Passion each way. I think it sort of gets in a controlling position. It's got quite good form. Great winning strike rate. I think.
Yeah, for a 7-year-old mare, she seems to have still a little bit of upside about her or something.
I don't know how. What do you mean it's controlled? It's got barrier 2. It's going to be completely fucked in the race.
I don't think so. I think it sits in the first 3.
Okay. But isn't that the wrong part of the track, in the wrong spot? Isn't that just hell?
Well, we saw this race last year.
It's not as if there's 4 horses that are going to come across and box it in.
No, I don't think that for a second either.
I think that he can move to wherever he thinks the best part of the track is.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so you're saying the race shape will work for it, despite this, I thought.
Yeah.
I'm certainly a Cool Passion fan in that race, which I think leaves us in the margin there, Nigel. The feature, Dawn Passage, is the firmer. It's 320 into 290 this morning. Paul Daly, you're keen here?
Look, I like Dawn Passage. Obviously, it's a query up to 1,200 metres, but I think the turn of foot it and the other one has, Accession, is obviously the key to this race, but I think Dawn Passage is the one to beat. Pandano's not hopeless. Well, that was a pretty soft win at the provincials. Yeah,
it's got a bit of X factor about it, Pandano. Glenn, where are you sitting here?
Accession win, guys.
Right, which is interesting because Glenn 2 weeks ago was firmly in the Dawn Passage.
With the setup, 1,200 metres, the setup, the Bowman, the barrier, tracks, wings.
Any position here, Nigel?
I just couldn't find any fat in the market. For me, I'm not too sure. One of these horses got a give. They can't both start $3, can they?
I'd agree with that.
Castle Vecchio. I mean, sometimes in these 1,200 metre 2-year-old races,
they're a bit brutal. 1,200.
Yeah, especially when there's probably about 6 horses that want to go at it in front, and
that's a question mark.
$2 million race. Could run home and be in the finish.
I think it's a brilliant roughie in that race, that horse you mentioned. Yeah. What's his name again?
Castelvecchio.
Castelvecchio.
Local, and obviously won its first start with the blinkers applied. The penultimate, and Waller has removed several of his here. Rodrigo, the only firmer of note, 26 into 18. Paul, are you playing these mile races late?
Yeah, look, I I thought Tangle's run first up was nice, coming back as a gelding. It's obviously the fancy. I've got it second pick. I've actually got the stablemate.
That's really interesting. That's really interesting. Because every man and his dog wants to climb onto Fiesta. Every man and his dog wants to climb on a Tangle. So I'm very keen to hear what you have to say.
Look, that win from New Universe was very stylish. I know it's New Universe, but it's not going to have any issue with the track. And I thought there was a little bit of an advantage to be on the speed the other day, and it came off a fairly moderate speed. They went about 4.8 lengths below.
Yeah, they didn't go very fast.
To the 800 and about 5.8 to the 600, and its sectionals, it ran clearly the best 8, 6, 4 and 2 of the day. Look, it's an unreliable horse, but I've got to have it favourite.
Yeah, that's one of your bread and butter types, isn't it? Those horses that are speeding up as they go through.
Running sectionals against the sectionals and also against the pattern.
Yeah, okay.
That horse last night.
That's right. Paul got heavily involved in Chris Lee's winner there with Bowman last night. Glenn, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I'm poo-pooing the race. I'm a bit
Mounting Yard Mail.
Well, I'm confused with barriers and everything, so I don't know where I am. So I need to do a little spray.
Anything from you, Nigel?
Yeah, a few thieves in this race. Hard to get overconfident, but I did take a little bit of the early prices on Tangle, but it's still, I don't feel, wasn't a big bet, and just hoping really.
It's an opinion, but it's not a major play.
Yeah.
And the nightcap, Cisco Bay, $51 into 17 is the only firmer, and an interesting firm that is. Again, it's a race that leaves you a little bit cold, GP?
Yeah, my word it does. I'm interested in Love Shack Baby late, and the one above it, number 1, looks like Elvis, but only smallish.
Yeah, again, Nige?
Zidane 1x2, I think gives you an honest run.
Racing very well, Zidane. Paul, have you got a position here?
I'm probably against a bit against Zidane, and especially Matawi. I'm against it at the price. Look, I think it's a really tough race. I got confused as to what to do with Rapido Chaparro. It's gone back to, it's back in distance now. It failed as favourite. I've actually got it ahead of the other stablemate, Sonderlon, who's seems like
its price. Yeah.
Seems like a poison price to me, but I could be wrong. So
won't it get out, Sonderlon?
So you mentioned a lot of horses in the market there. I don't like. And Ike have the same feel too.
If there's any money for the 4,
who's it?
Rapido Chaparro.
I'm still not sacking.
But why do you need money for it? Like it's an exposed horse. It's been here. It's trialled.
I mean, from a pattern perspective, by that stage of the day, you maybe not want to be on leaders, but I think it gets control quite easily over the stablemate if it wants to.
Yeah.
Honey Esprit, is coming up off a provincial win in Victoria. Its figures were okay.
All right. So Rapido Chaparro is going to be the tough one here. You're saying it's going to tough it out here because it's got the seasoning that the others haven't. Sonderlon second up. Honey Esprit, no mile form.
I'd be willing to have something on it.
Okay. Interesting tip, interesting program. Don't forget that you can come and climb on board with us. You get 3 shows a week. You get a set from me and a set from Glenn, the Mounting Yard, every single Sydney Metropolitan race day. We've also got a good man that's up here today to look at a few horses on our behalf. Jeff McMurray supplies the 2-year-old pedigree assessments, and it's all for $22 a week. The first 2 weeks are free, and you get your weekly dose of Glenn every Monday on the rant.
Yeah, you might need a vaccination for that. But anyway, looks a good card, guys, and thanks for joining us. Really,
it's very generous of
Paul and Nigel, they throw their time in the hat and then we don't pay them, so it works out perfectly.
Well, yeah, Paul's here to represent Ratings to Win, which I actually haven't mentioned through the program, but it's a stunning piece of sophisticated software that I now swear by. I couldn't do without it.
Not just you, like all the major pro punters use it.
I know. It's well, that's because it's state of the art and there's nothing like it. So you'll find the Ratings to Win info package on our site, but go to our site and come and join us. As I say, the first 2 weeks are free and you'll get a lot of bang for your buck.
Indeed.
Thanks.
Thank you.